I called this forum because I have a vision, and I've always had a vision, and it's the same theme, the same vision. And my theme is very simple, is what would the world be like if we hadn't interfered with it? What would culture, what would, you know, obviously we wouldn't have a lot of the things that we have if it had grown naturally. And what would each of us in our lifetimes as we grew up have grown up to be if we hadn't interfered with it? So this, as I say it, it sounds serious, but it is not serious. It is comedy. Comedy is the juxtaposition, this is my definition of comedy, the juxtaposition of what we perceive as reality and reality. And often, as we have found out, they are very, very, very different. Even the classic guy slipping on a banana peel. His perception of reality is that it's solid, and when you take a step, it goes down. And suddenly there he is flying up in the air. People laugh. I don't think it's funny, but people laugh. So the juxtaposition between what we perceive as reality and what is reality. And to me, reality is something that we don't see very much of. All these quantum physicians and metaphysicians and who knows physicians have told us that this is not real, that this is, we all know that. We all have learned that, and we take it for granted, just like a couple hundred years ago they took it for granted that it was real. But we don't really believe that it's not real. We think that we're solid and all that kind of stuff. And growing up in our lives, we have been trained, brainwashed, etc., to believe that we are the person that we've evolved and grown into. But there's another person that would have been, had we really been nurtured. And it's wonderful that we're doing this at Children of the Land, which is, it says it all. If the children were to grow up and be nurtured in the land, and simply allowed, like any other plant or tree or flower, to just grow, they would look very, 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 very different. We would look very different and act very different than we are, even those of us who we think have busted it. So I'm talking about my theme, and as we go on, my invitation is to extend it to anyone who wants to do their thing in terms of videoing it and video it. To do their thing and video it. There are two ways of making a creative thing to me, videoing. Either you, and this is the magic and power of it, and this is the real magic power, either you stage a scene and video it, or you video it in pretend. So you create a world. It's creating a world, whatever you do, whether it's a 1-minute blurb, whether it's a 4-hour epic, you're creating a world. And the way you create the world, to me, is one of two ways. You either make the world, or see the world. If you're a documentarian, you see the world as it is and you video it. Or you create a world and video it. Or you create the world in the medium, with as if it were. I think of the movie The Truman Show, where everything was staged. So, what I'm inviting all of us in this process of what we're doing over the next weeks and months and years is to share, and share is the main word, in my vision, and to share in each other's visions, and I will share in your visions. The practical end of this is I would love to get stuff up on YouTube, and eventually the big picture is, literally the big picture is to get a movie, a 2-hour movie. It's cool that this class is 2 hours. A 2-hour movie made up of the segments of these little 1-minute, 3-minute, 8-minute things we do on YouTube. It's the magic that you all know you're more into. I'm not a technical video person. I'm not a technical movie person. I am a writer. I'm a structuralist. When I went to, film school decades ago, I was a writer. And the main thing I learned is, we all know this, nothing I say is anything any of you haven't heard, is that making a video, making a movie is a collective endeavor. And for me, my mastery, what I've done with my life, decades and decades and decades, and still do over the internet. I work with writers who I can work with on their scripts over the internet, is the script. The script is the structure, and whether it's a written script or whether it's whatever it is, there is the structure, and then there is the playing out, the doing. And my belief system is that just as in anything, if the structure is strong, then the finished product will be strong. It may not be great, but it will be strong. It will work. If the structure isn't strong, then you kind of have to fake it. When I worked way back in half-hour television, and I would work with the writers, and I successfully, I would have one main thing, is you put the jokes in last. You always put the jokes in last. Get the story, get the structure, get it to work so it would work even without the jokes. Otherwise, you're going to have to try using the jokes to get through the next scene, and it'll fall apart. So that's my belief system, and other people may have other belief systems, and but then again, people can believe that you can walk on your head, but maybe you can't. Anyway, that's my belief system in creating art. And even when it comes spontaneously, there is a structure. Okay. What I want to do, and what I'm inviting us to do, is to bring something new to the world. I cannot watch a movie anymore. I cannot. I try. Avatar, I try. No. It's too pornographic. It's pornographic. It does things with an intent to get a reaction. That's James Joyce's definition of pornography. Is anything you write with the intention of getting a reaction is pornography. And so I try to watch movies and I can't. I try to watch, and I'm not a documentary person, so documentary is a different matter. But there, of course, it's the same thing. You go in with the structure. What is it I want to I want to arrange all these images for to create the impact that I intend. So I want to bring something, and I want to do it via YouTube. I don't know how to do this, and that's one reason that I put out the call to anyone who has, and I know that a lot of people on this island and on every island all over the world are very, very, very good at that technical end of it. And again, on YouTube, as you all know, it's almost, I was going to say tragic, but it's comic how much genius is put in for trivia. How much, silliness is put in for, somebody's cat who knows how to flush a toilet, and it's got like these amazing effects, and it's like you could have done all of Ben-Hur decades and decades and decades ago. And yeah, so that's what I'm calling for, and so anyone who has vision and or abilities, I, as the structuralist, I can be the focalizer. I mean, I have my own things that I want in, but even more important for what we're doing right now, I'm the focalizer. This is very much my training. Video movies is compression.